So yesterday on July the 5th, I woke up and my chest area and the sides here were just feeling like they were being burned and electrocuted. And they've done this type of attack on me before. It's one of their more intolerable attacks. It wasn't like it didn't feel like my lungs were on fire. It felt like the muscle tissue and the bones themselves were being electrocuted and on fire. And it's not in a heartburn sort of way or acid reflux sort of way. It's not in the same areas internally, but it just felt horrible, and it was like extremely painful and disconcerting. And I would constantly like try to cover like the chest area. They were hitting a lot right here, so I'd put my hand here, and that did help for us for the small area that I'm covering. But then they still covered this area right here, and they're still doing it mildly today as I woke up. It's just not quite as strong when I do that, and I feel it over here when I cover it. I don't feel it right here. And they were also attacking the side. It was extremely disconcerting, and they were mocking me the whole fucking time they were doing that. That's not schizophrenia, Dad. That's not. I don't have schizophrenic voices that are coinciding with an attack on my body that I feel that I can block with my hand and my arms. Whenever I put my arms to the side like this, because they were attacking the areas here, then like my arms just felt like they were immediately like sunburned and being electrocuted. Like they literally felt like a sunburn feeling and like they're being electrocuted. It's extremely disconcerting. So think of like a sunburn feeling here, but deeper, and just that constant burn. It sucked, and it stopped by the afternoon. You know, the last time I fell back asleep and woke back up, it stopped for the most part. They dialed it down quite a bit. Now that they've dialed it a little bit back up today, because they're talking about it and they're mocking me, and they're saying make a video on that, and they're actually phrasing the words that I might say in the video as I'm walking max. They're literally like telling me what I should phrase the video at, and I'm not even circling around on it either. Like it's not my mind circling around on it. They literally like to do things like that, like the asinine jackasses that they are. Part of the attack migrated also to focus more on here at times. They've done that quite a bit. They've done that attacks too. They are calling it the Constantine attack, Dad, because in the movie Constantine, near the end, Constantine has cancer, and Lucifer literally like digs his hands into there, into Constantine's body, and sucks out the cancer, so that John Constantine is still stuck in the world fighting demons and stuff. And so that because John Constantine was going to go to heaven, and Lucifer was like, no, you're still mine here on earth. And like that's not schizophrenic voices. Schizophrenic voices aren't going to reference. Like I would never even thought about that. It's not schizophrenic, and they've sometimes warned it ahead of time. So that's not schizophrenic voices telling me that something's about to happen or is happening to me. And that, we're scanning all the movies that you've seen, and this is kind of like where they're attacking you now. Kind of reminds your subconscious or your schizophrenic part of your brain from Constantine. This is utterly ludicrous. And again, I can block it sometimes. I can do this and do this. But then the horrible thing about this one is it sort of radiates. So like even if you cover this area or this area, they'll attack right here. And so it doesn't feel like you're covering much or you're blocking much of the attack at all, because you're not. And it seems sort of the heat of the radiation seeps in underneath the area that you're covering a little bit. So even if I do that, it literally doesn't block it like this entirely, because they'll hit it here, and that sort of heat and electrocution radiation or whatever, that burning feeling will still get under the hand a little bit. So you're really only protecting a very small area of the body. It just sucks. It's one of the attacks that sucks the most. And they're doing all of the shitty attacks or the horrible attacks over and over and over again. And they keep telling me that my dad's not going to believe me, that you're not going to believe me, Dad, and that nothing will ever happen on this, and that they're just going to keep increasing the attacks and then they keep saying, well, like, you know, if you kill yourself, then your suffering will end. And it's like, oh my God, Dad, you're letting me go through this. That's not my subconscious brain. It's not schizophrenic voices. I've already tried 3 medications on that. Like, oh my God, help me.